now. Also, I have made songs, and I encourage each of you to check out my songs. Will you? The first thing that we know is that Pee-wee and the entire first scene in the Phoenix nesting grounds is used as a backdrop to the overall metaphor of dragon puberty. Oh, this is going to be observed later. It's here when we see that Spike has a condition called stone scale, whereby he gets gems scales all over his face. This is quite obviously acne, but it serves to demonstrate that the puberty metaphor does not work. I am no PBMD, but last I checked, acne wasn't excruciatingly painful unless it was a serious medical condition that needs to be treated as a professional. And that is only the first of many problems with this metaphor. This metaphor is, in a sense, none too dissimilar to the divorce metaphor that we covered previously, if you've ever seen my sections on the Hippogriff episode. Because the sun's ions are a magic phenomenon, and magic doesn't exist in the modern world, also last I checked, non-abnormally medical acne isn't painful, the metaphor falls flat on its face and serves to tell us once more that the writers can't do analogues to save their own anal cavity. We later see a funny scene where Twig acknowledges that she used to get what can only be assumed as regular acne outbreaks every time a test came up. She also asserts that apparently Tia never had a breakout problem in her life, and I found this to be quite funny. Spike then goes to see Smolder after being caught by her at the school. This makes sense considering their dragons are relatively similar age. We also get the confirmation that Smolder does indeed have a brother in her family that has also gone through the Molt, which will be interesting if they ever explore this fact later. Spike then goes to see Zecora, who apparently knows about dragons, considering we've just seemingly discarded these versions from all the way back in season 2 that nobody knows anything about dragons other than their dicks. Spike then goes outside, for fear of being seen with loads and loads of spots in front of Rarity, who we know was his waifu. After this, he gets attacked by a giant bird who is attracted to his BO and can eat him in one fell swoop, which raises the question, how do most dragons live if their BO from puberty attracts birds and hydras and whatever else to come and eat them? Another interesting factor is after Spike has finished with the base molting process, just before he sprouts wings, he appears to go into this stone-like cocoon, which is rather interesting. I hope they do to explore this more as a subject because I've found it interesting that dragons form a cocoon. Also, Smolder refers to greed-induced bigness, as seen in Secret of My Excess, to be separate from the molting process. To calm Spike's fears of turning into a giant greedy even rarity kidnapping dragon again. I find this to be a rather interesting piece of lore. Now we see that Spike has sprouted wings. Insert the obligatory Emma Lawson comparison here, although his presented this was none of his business, and he had nothing whatsoever to do with the episode in question. I really hope that they do an exploratory episode before the series ends, wherein Spike goes to the Dragonlands with his new set of sprouted wings, and Emma tells him her Molt story, which I find would be an interesting piece of bonding between the two characters. Overall, I found this episode to be not only more fun than my last, but also more heavy in terms of topics, and one can only think of the worry potential the writers now have for season 9 in discovering what the Molt is and what it does. It's goodbye